When your Facebook wall or your Instagram wall or your LinkedIn page does not have enough or sufficient valuable content that when people visit it and see what you are talking about, or when people visit it to read what you have written before, or to see the videos that you've created, or whatever form of content that you're using, they will not easily be convinced about your credibility or integrity to handling the value proposition you said you offer. Now, today, let's talk about contents that sell. It's another episode of Mobile Money Thursday, where I teach you how to make money online with your smartphone. I hope you've been getting lots of value from the series so far. This should be the 6th episode, and if you've missed any episode, I would advise go back to the playlist and see from the first down to this one. Now, today, let's talk about contents that sell. Let's talk about contents that sell. In the previous episode, I said that content to an online business is the same way that products are being arranged on showcases for physical businesses. I also talked about that when you go to a boutique to buy a stuff, to buy a clothes or whatever, to buy any fashion product, you're going to be seeing clothes that are hanging or being worn on mannequins, and from what you're seeing, you can easily say, okay, this is what I want, and yes, these guys really have good stuffs. When your Facebook wall or your Instagram wall or your LinkedIn page does not have enough or sufficient valuable content that when people visit it and see what you are talking about, or when people visit it to read what you have written before, or to see the videos that you've created, or whatever form of content that you're using, they will not easily be convinced about your credibility or integrity to handling the value proposition you said you offer. That is why a lot of attention should be given to creating content that sell. If I was not creating valuable content, or if my content were not selling, I wouldn't have gotten to the level where I am. I was able to decipher the kind of content my audience would read, the kind of content my audience would want to buy, and was just giving it to them. Even content creation or content management is actually a job. There are content creators, there are people that you can pay to handle your content for your website, for your social media handles, or whatever. Just for you to know that it is actually in the quality of content you're bringing to the table that will get people convinced to buy from you. Now, last week, I also talked about the kind of content that you must be addicted or you must be consistent in creating. I said your content must be valuable. Your content must be solution-oriented. Your content should be something that someone will read, apply what you're talking about, and see results quickly. A quick fix content can actually get a client to want to buy or want to learn more on what your business is about. There are different forms of content. Now we have the video content. People like Gary Vaynerchuk. Now he said in his book Crush It that he is not really the test kind of person. He does not know how to write. Even the books that he releases was transcribed from his several videos or seminars that he had presented. He is the video person. He's the type that can easily pull out his phone, video himself, and put it out there. He's more of a talker than a writer. Depending on your strength, right, you can actually determine the kind of content you want to persist on creating. And also, when you study your audience and you think that they would appreciate video content than text-based content or even audios, then you should go for content that your audience would easily want to see. It is not just enough to give the excuse of I am video shy, I am camera shy, or whatever, and then will make you to want to pick on a content style that your audience would not appreciate. Assuming that your audience are teenagers, they might want to actually see videos that they would want to read. I'm not supposed to be the camera person. I am more of a writer than a video producer or standing in front of a camera. But here I am. I have a YouTube channel that I keep coming on camera to talk to you. I learned it. So however way that you want to do it, it's not just about you, it's about your audience. And those are the people that will help you determine the kind of content you would want to be creating. Keep your content coming. Keep your content consistent. Just like YouTube would want you to stay consistent with uploading your videos. Same goes to every other social media platform or your website that you have created. You need to make sure that your website, your social media handles are updated. If you can't do daily basis, you can do twice, thrice, however way. Just make sure that whenever someone visits your social media pages or goes to your website, they won't see post that was created a month ago. You can actually decipher that. You can check that out yourself. When you visit a website or you visit a page, you would normally find yourself checking on the last time that post was made, because that is actually how you get to know if the owner of the page is still available, right? If you see a post that was made 1 month ago and no other post, you just say, this post or this page or this website must have been abandoned. You even want to read more from it. So this is why it is very important. You must be consistent with the releasing of your content. Persist on it and make sure that every time you're releasing content that your audience are finding or getting value from it. I also need to talk about content block. Now, content block is actually that situation that creators do run into where they can't find new ideas to write on. Now, there's an app called Quora. Now, Quora helps you to get to hear or see what people are talking about or questions that people are asking on your niche, right? Now, I use Quora sometimes to look at the questions that people are asking just to refresh or get ideas of content to create, even on YouTube, right? I also check YouTube videos and see videos from people that are actually making lots of weight, and I use that to gain ideas on what to create. Now, you must keep yourself updated. Yes, you must keep learning, you must keep reading, you must keep watching YouTube videos, you must stay addicted, you must stay consistent with improving what you have known. The more you know, the more you're going to write about. The more you know, the more videos you want to create, right? So if you stop learning anytime, you're going to stop having or nursing ideas to create content around. If you're still having any problem concerning content block or whatever reason why you feel you are not being consistent with your content creation, drop it on the comment and I will reply. There's also what is called content calendar. Now, this is what I do this sometimes. I'm not always consistent with creating calendar. Every last week of a month, I'm going to plan the content I'm going to be creating for the next month, right? The period of times I'm going to be creating the content and also the topics I'm going to be creating on. Now, this helps me to have a foresight of what to talk about, what the videos to create or the content to write on any social media handle. Now, these are actually what helps me to stay consistent with my content. I never run out of content, right? I rarely run into content block. But the most important thing is learn. Keep learning, keep watching, keep improving on the niche that you are occupying, because things keep happening to upgrade value, to upgrade knowledge on any niche that you are occupying. Storytelling is also a form of content that can really help you to sell your products online. I tell stories, right? And every time I tell stories of maybe how I started or the journey so far or one achievement or the other and the story behind that achievement, people are always engaging with that story. Just imagine that I started this video with once upon a time, you pay closer attention. Or I started with there was a time, you pay closer attention, because people give rapt attention to stories. People give rapt attention to hearing things about somebody, especially when they are following that person, especially when they praise that person, especially when that person influences them. They want to learn how you started. They want to learn how you've gone so far. They want to learn about what you've gone through that would help them while they are still trying to be like you. Another form of content can actually be tutorial based content where you don't really need to show your face. Like the tutorials I do on Tuesdays here, you will notice that you don't always see my face. Sometimes I use animated character or just a UI video of what I am teaching, right? So you might want to use that as well. All this depends on your audience. If your audience finds that more helpful for them, use it. Always end your content with a call to action. Whenever I write on social media, I always end intentionally with "God value, yay or yay." Now, imagine that you have read a post and you do not know what to comment. You might actually end up just dropping a like. But when the post has something like a question calling for your feedback, you've been given an idea of what to respond. This is always very, very important. End your content with a call to action. What would you want them to do now they have read the post from you? Would you want to learn or hear their opinion about the post? Even in my YouTube videos, I would normally say, what do you think about this? How have you been able to do this or that? I would want to know. This is a call to action. If you want to sell something, oh well, from this post, I talked about the kind of clothes that you want to wear. I have this clothes and that clothes that you might want to buy. Click the buy now button or pay to so and so account and I will send the clothes over to you. However way you want to create a call to action, simply call to action is just demanding for the response or demanding for an action from people that have read or watched your content. It is very important. This helps your audience to engage with the post, engage with you. You want to know how they are feeling about your post. You want to hear their opinion about what you created, and it will also help you the next time you are creating another post. Also, on Facebook or Instagram, you see the reply. most people don't reply to comments. I don't know, maybe I've not gotten to the big influencer level, but I always try to reply to comments. Now, when you reply to people, it gives them a sense of belonging. It gives them a sense of importance. Now, it is very important because it will make that person to want to comment again. When someone, maybe you drop a post on Facebook, on Instagram, or wherever, and someone releases a comment and you just ignore it, that person feels like, well, maybe the thing I said doesn't make sense to him, right? And they might not even want to reply. Or if you don't comment, then simply drop a like. There's also something that helps the post to go even more viral when you reply to a comment. When you drop a post, Facebook is going to show it to people that have engaged with your post, people that you have inboxed, people that have in one way or the other interacted with you. That is why even though you might have 5,000 friends on Facebook, not all of them sees your post. Facebook algorithm wants to serve only those people that have interacted with your post, because Facebook wants to keep you connected with family and friends. So the algorithm assumes that for anyone that have interacted with your post, or you have interacted with that person's post, that there is a kind of relationship. So they want to keep feeding that person with your post. Now let me also add this. When you comment, or when someone comments on your post and you reply, Facebook is going to pull up the post again on people's timeline, on people's newsfeed, and tell them, Frederick Nnamdi Ibembo just replied to a comment. Or when you comment on somebody's post, Facebook will pull it and show your audience or your friends that Frederick Nnamdi Ibembo just commented on a post. Now they are doing this so that they can attract people that are mutual with that person. They are doing this so they can tell your friend, okay, if you're interested in so as though that Frederick Nnamdi Ibembo just commented on, you might want to read and comment as well. So when you keep replying on posts, Facebook algorithm keep pushing it on the newsfeed. But when you drop a post and then people comment and you leave it, in no time the algorithm will wipe off that post. This is why it is only when someone comments on a post from 2, 8, 9, 10 years ago that Facebook pulls it up again on the newsfeed of other people to show that post as if it's a fresh post. So this is why it is always important for you to reply to comments. Reply to comments. Now, I dropped a post on Facebook the other time telling people that it is not actually wise for you to be on social media and you don't interact with other people's content. If you don't do this, Facebook will not serve your content to that person. Let me also tell you something that happens that you might not be aware of. Have you ever added someone on Facebook and then over time you begin to see posts from that person no matter the time they posted it? Now, when those posts are flying on your newsfeed and you refuse to comment on any of those posts, you refuse to interact or like or any of those posts, Facebook is going to think that these guys don't relate, these guys are not friends, they are just friends on Facebook, they don't have any relationship and they are not interested in each other's posts, they don't have mutual interests. So Facebook, once they pull up those posts from that new friend and you refuse to interact with it, Facebook is not going to show you anything from that person again until you establish another relationship, and you do this by dropping a comment or sending that person a message on their inbox. This is a simple thing, simple arithmetic that the algorithm uses to know when someone and someone are mutual in any way. So this is why you must be intentional, not just in creating content and engaging with people that engage with your content, but also engaging with every other person's content. I see people sometimes that when they drop a post, they go on the post and start commenting and dropping comments. Well, that might actually look like they are being just trying to add comments by themselves, but no, they are actually helping the algorithm to keep the post on people's newsfeed. Yes, they are helping the algorithm to keep the post on people's newsfeed, because that comment is going to be reading on every other person's newsfeed as they commented on the post, right? So these are actually ways you can get your post to be read by many more persons. Remember what I said in this episode about content creation. I said content is like the same way physical products that you enter a boutique and you see the clothes or all the fashion products hanging in one place or the other, that you get to see, get interested or get impressed with the clothes and now want to see more. That is the same way that dropping content that are valuable, that are solution oriented on your wall, on your website, on your blog, on your YouTube channel, helps people to determine your credibility on handling the value proposition you said you offer. And I also said that you must make sure you drop a call to action. You must make sure to end your post with a call to action, so that when people have read your post, they will have an idea of what to comment or how to interact with that post. Then I also said it is not just enough to drop content and then expect people to engage with it while you engage with them, it is also so expedient that you comment on other people's content, that you engage with other people's content. And whenever you add a new friend, try as much as possible to send them a message so that you tell the algorithm that you know this person and you share mutual interests, and the algorithm can easily serve each of you your content. There are so many things more attached to writing or creating content that sells. I also talked about storytelling and amongst other things. The more you learn, the more you practice, the more you get better. Either ways, you need to learn how to make money with your smartphone. Now tell me on the comment section, what are the problems you are facing with staying consistent with your content? What are the problems you are facing why you can't stay consistent with your content? And I will be replying to all the comments. If you find this video helpful, you might want to see any of these episodes of how to make money online with your phone.